I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I am your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. And back with me, getting this week started, is Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. What's going on over there, Hillbilly Land?
Waiting for some pretty severe thunderstorms to hit. It's 70 degrees today. It was like we rolled over from February to March, and the weather decided to be nice, except that the thing that comes along with going from being very cold to abruptly being very warm is now you get thunderstorms. And there is one that's cooking up. Wind's been blowing, and it might get pretty gnarly. I'm worried I might get knocked off mid-show because it's starting to look pretty nasty out there. But at least it's warm.
Nice, though. 70 degrees, and, yeah, first week of March.
Yeah.
I'd take that. I would take that. And you didn't watch the Oscars?
You know, the last time I watched a award show was when Ricky Gervais gave his legendary just takedown of all of Hollywood. And
even then I didn't watch it, but that was definitely the one to watch.
Right. I watched that, and then after that it turned into normal stupid award show, and it was like, okay, well, at least I got to see the entertaining part of this.
Yeah, I haven't even seen any of the movies. I think that's sort of like what's happened. Like, dude, Hollywood is so fucking out of touch. They're basically, remember how we talked about how out of touch the whole Kamala Harris campaign was? Hollywood embodies that like completely. They are, they're just like, I think the best picture, the film that won best picture or whatever, it won the most awards. Only $15 million at the box office.
Yeah, it was a kind of an obscure film.
Yeah,
I
it was
guess.
like a hooker film. It was about prostitution, and dude, I heard like some of the clips going around of like the people accepting the awards, and they wanted like they all thanked and they wanted to honor the hookers. It's like a direct quote. I'd like to honor, well, they call them sex workers, but they're whores. And then we're honoring them because they're so brave and stunning. And I have no idea, dude, what the fuck is going on over there. But that is, to hear one of these rich fucks that's worth millions of dollars. Like if they had a daughter, they'd be like, oh yeah, sex work that's a career path for you. It's an honorable career path.
So I'm kind of scrolling through the list of the movies that placed in all of the different stuff, like Best Picture.
Was it Anora?
Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown. I actually know what that is, but I didn't see it. Conclave, Dune Part 2, which I saw and did a whole podcast breakdown of it. Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked.
Wicked I've heard of, at least.
Right, I at least know what Wicked is, and The Substance I've seen. And
oh wait, I watched The Substance.
I've seen and read really good things about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
That's when, with Demi Moore. Yeah, I mean, dude, that was a stupid fucking movie though, and it was like 40 minutes too long. The ending was just so ridiculous. It was crazy. I did watch that. I didn't pay to go watch it in the theaters. But 40 million globally. Anora ranks as the lowest grossing Best Picture winner in history. So that just goes to show you how out of touch Hollywood is. This is their Best Picture, and nobody went to see it. They're completely out of step with the rest of humanity on this one, and it just keeps getting, and they just keep doubling down. Like I said, now they're honoring prostitutes, and trying to show that profession in like some sort of a glowing light is absolutely insane. Yeah, I'm for legalized prostitution, absolutely. But like, if somebody I knew was like considering going into prostitution, like, and I cared about that person, I would do anything I could to talk them out of it. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, no, that's an honorable profession. Yeah, bravo. Get the fuck out of here, man. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that.
For what all, I'm kind of looking through like all of the different categories and stuff. Like, I don't even remember what all movies came out last year. It's here's like Best Visual Effects: Alien, Romulus, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I saw both of those. They were both pretty good. I mean, obviously, those are not movies that are ever going to win like Best Picture or anything like that.
Well, to Magoo's point, dude, have you watched that Girls Gone Wild documentary on it's on Hulu, I think, because they don't show him in a glowing light. No, he was he was abusing women, taking advantage of them. So yeah, I don't know. Pick a lane, I guess. Shit. Actually, funny story. I know that guy's ex-girlfriend. She's a friend of mine here in PV.
The Girls Gone Wild guy?
The Girls Gone Wild guy. I know.
Y'all should do like a watch party for that documentary. It's like...
As soon as I saw it, I texted her out, and she's like, yeah, I knew that was coming out. Yeah, that guy's got some fucking problems. For sure. But,
I mean, did anybody really think that the dude making Girls Gone Wild was like a really upstanding, great guy? Like, it seems like the most pointless documentary ever. Francis. Like, you're just going to tell us all the things we already knew and supposed about, like, what was going on with it.
Oh, these chicks were drunk. They didn't know what they were doing.
Like, really? Yeah. You don't say.
Oh, Peacock. Yeah, sorry, Peacock, not Hulu. Thank you, fact checker. Anyway, we do have more important things to talk about today because speaking of whores, the biggest whore probably globally right now really fucked up on Friday. And it was kind of during I think like the news was breaking as we were wrapping Friday's show because we went kind of early on Friday. And I kept seeing like these clips pop up, and I debated whether or not we should play them on the show, but we were coming up on time, and I just decided against it. And dude, the world's biggest whore who has managed to get at least a couple $100 billion out of the U.S. and is looking to get another $150 billion loan from UK. I don't know what Zelensky was thinking on Friday. Have you watched the whole thing or just the clips that the media was circulating?
I've just seen the clips that were circulating. This one is the main one that's been going around is pretty impressive just for like you can tell that he has effectively never been told no at any point in the last 3 years. And it really, really stood out in this clip.
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office and try to litigate this.
Yeah, look at the body language.
Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you see what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's
I will
respectful
answer.
to come to the Oval Office of the United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know.
bless. You will not
You
go to
gotta,
war.
don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position to
this question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel
I'm
very,
fine.
Very good.
You
strong.
will feel influenced.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm
with the
president
lives of
anymore.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What else-
III.
what do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
I'm wearing
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot
Entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for
What-
the United
what
States
are
of
you
America
speaking about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
So yeah, okay. As Magoo was saying, like, yeah, the first part of the meeting was normal, but like Zelensky was like kind of indignant and antagonistic like the whole time. That's when things like actually blew up. That last clip there, but he was not acting like somebody who, you know, is coming hat in hand, whose life is basically on the line without the U.S. backing. He just comes in here like he fucking owns the place. I love how the media tried to spin this as it was an ambush. Donald Trump and JD Vance ambushed him in the Oval Office, and it was just such rude behavior. He's like, dude, this guy's coming to us. He's coming to the U.S. asking for money, asking for weapons, asking for backing, and he comes in with that kind of a fucking attitude. Even if like the first part of the meeting didn't happen, and well, to Magoo's point there, he did have a meeting. Oh shit, sorry. He did have a meeting before the Oval Office meeting with Trump with like a bunch of Democrats, and they were basically telling him, you know, don't make sure you don't sign any deal that's like a fake guaranteed deal that's going to give Putin everything he wants. So they made it seem like they had his back for sure. And a couple of those, one of the guys, I forget the Democrat's name, tweeted out like bragging that we told Zelensky not to fucking sign any deals that were too favorable to Putin, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so they fucking hamstrung Trump going into this fucking meeting. And then Zelensky acts like a little fucking prick the whole time. and it's amazing to watch him sit there like with that kind of body language. Even if, let's say, Trump and Vance were being like complete dicks the whole time, you gotta fucking take it, dude. You have to bend over and fucking take it if you want to get money and weapons and support from Donald Trump. Like, who doesn't know to kiss Donald Trump's ass in order to get what you want? Like, it's the easiest thing ever. You just have to give him like the most basic of compliments, and he's your best friend. But the second you fucking turn against him, like, he's going to punch back.
Well, like, if it wasn't, and I'm pretty sure Trump said this at some point during the during the meeting, and like, if it wasn't for the U.S., this would have been all over. It all would have been over a long time ago. Like
he said in 2 weeks, and then Zelensky's like, "Oh yes, I heard from Putin in 2 days." So he was like, dude. And when JD Vance like, "Have you said thank you which I didn't really care for that part, but like I was like, Vance, I don't know, that's like say thank you kind of thing. But you say thank you then again because you want something in return. Like you're not just like, yes, I've said thank you a bunch of times.
Just be like,
you
I'm sorry.
like, okay, yes, I have said thank you, but I'll say thank you, like thank you again. I appreciate it. Like you have to grovel. Like your country's on the line. Your life could potentially be on the line.
But that's the thing is he hasn't had to grovel because the entire world uses Ukraine as its fucking money laundering like apparatus, and he doesn't have to grovel because everybody wants to dump their money into Ukraine so that they can wash it and get it back out to all of their, all the pockets that need to be lined and all the palms that need to be greased.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
they've just been kissing his ass too collectively. He's a hero, all that shit.
I was gonna say, speaking of the Democrats telling him not to do anything that would be or not to sign anything that would be beneficial to Putin. Meanwhile, the entirety of Europe, that right there on Putin's doorstep, the only thing that's holding Putin back from taking over all of Europe is Ukraine. They've been spending all of their money on Russian oil.
Yeah, you mentioned the Europeans. It's interesting to me. They spend more money on Russian oil and gas last year than they sent to Ukraine collectively. That's number one. Number two, it's interesting to me that Zelensky could not see on Friday the benefit of signing the minerals deal. That in and of itself is a security guarantee. When our interests become your interests, that is a security guarantee. You're never going to get Trump to sign an agreement saying, well, we'll eventually put boots on the ground.
Scott, is not a security guarantee.
It is, because we would have guaranteed our own interests.
On top of that, most of the minerals are in territory that is being held by Russia.
But
so
the
mineral deal is something that is.
Are you saying that we would have entered into an economic situation
it's near and dear to Donald Trump's heart, but it is not a security guarantee.
I disagree.
President.
Yeah, it really is just.
And to I don't know what the chick's name is. To her point, if all of those minerals are already in parts of the country that Russia controls, why even fuck with Zelensky at all? Just be like, all right, you don't actually control the minerals that we want to have a agreement on, so you can fuck right on off. We'll go talk to Putin and we'll get a deal with him and go ahead and finish this thing off properly.
Yeah, Zelensky should not be really involved in anything. He's power. Like Trump's like, you don't have the cards. He doesn't have the cards. He is the U.S.'s bitch. And if the U.S. doesn't want him involved in the fucking, he wants to get all these guarantees and shit. And I remember some of the reporters were asking, well, what if Putin doesn't honor the deal, honor the ceasefire? It's like, okay, so then we're right back to where we are now. It's like, what if, and Trump's like, what if what if a bomb falls on your head or something? I forget exactly what he said. It was a pretty funny response, but it's just like, yeah, okay. I don't think that's going to happen is what Trump said. And if it does, okay, worst case scenario, Trump or Putin reneges on the ceasefire. And then he really fucks up and shows that you can't trust him. And we're right back to where we are before the ceasefire. So why not take a shot and get the ceasefire done? And the mineral deals thing, I thought that was kind of usually these deals I thought were done in advance, like the diplomats kind of fucking figure all this shit out. And then it's sort of just like a ceremonial handshake photo op thing for the presidents to go in there without the fucking deal signed. And then to have this fucking blow up was pretty bonkers.
I don't think there are any Ukrainian diplomats that are doing these deals. They've basically been relying on the handshake agreements of, oh yeah, we're going to just send you all this money. They haven't actually had to formally deal with any legitimate documented deals and stuff. You can go back to, it was August of 2021. 6 months before anything started. Joe Biden was already signing executive orders, sending money and military equipment to Ukraine in August of 2021, 6 months before any of this started. So, like, Zelensky hasn't had to ask for anything. They haven't had to do any deals. It's all been by executive order. I don't know how much of it has actually been like legitimately congressionally approved. The overwhelming majority of it has been by executive order.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I still can't get over the fact that, like, even if he hasn't had to, really beg for anything this entire time, you know Trump's position on this. He's been pretty fucking clear about it since he started running for president, like during the election and everything like that. You know how Trump operates. How do you go in there with this fucking indignant attitude? It's crazy to me. I couldn't fucking believe how he was behaving, and it was incredible to see it on camera. It was great. And of course, dude, the corporate press and all these "I stand with Ukraine" like they just get the whole thing completely wrong. This is a great thing to have happen. Donald Trump has now halted all arms sales to Ukraine. And as soon as he did that, within hours of him doing that, guess who's ready to sign the mineral deal? Yeah. Zelensky's tucking his fucking tail between his legs. He's been sort of begging. I saw a couple of tweets from him being like, I said thank you so much, and all this shit. It's just like, yeah, dude, it's too late now, man. You fucked up. Man. You went into Trump's fucking house and you didn't kiss the ring. That's not gonna get it done. And also, I kind of hope he doesn't sign this mineral deal, to be honest with you. I don't know, dude. I just don't want to be fucking involved like these. So in Trump's mind, we get something for all the money and the weapons we've been giving him. And then now if we have, this mineral deal signed, then we have a staked interest in the outcome of Ukraine.
So here's the lowdown on the minerals deal. And you were talking about, Zelensky taking that meeting with the Democrats before going to the Oval Office.
You're exactly right, Sean. When the Ukrainians came to Washington on Friday, it was supposed to be ceremonial. There had been some public back and forth, some disagreements, some words spoken in public. And the president was like, let's have this moment. We give some credit to the brave Ukrainian fighters. And of course, it's a very brave army that they have there in Ukraine. Let's sign this minerals deal, which importantly does two things. It allows the American people to get some of their money back, but it also shows the Ukrainian people that America has a long-term investment in their sovereignty. You do those things, we'll sign this thing, we'll have a rah-rah moment, and then we'll get to the tough talk of negotiating peace. We couldn't even get the Ukrainians to a point where they could talk about the peaceful settlement. And look, in some ways, Sean, I get it. I get the frustration. I get the rage. It's their country. Of course, it's not our country. But you've got to accept, cooler heads have got to prevail. This thing cannot go on forever. This is the important point. I'd say this to our, of course, most importantly, the Americans who are watching, but people all over the world. When you talk to leaders in private, whether they're Ukrainian or European, when you talk to people in private, they will tell you this cannot go on forever. There aren't enough Ukrainian lives, there isn't enough American money, and there isn't enough ammunition to fund this thing indefinitely. The only realistic pathway to bringing this thing to a settlement is President Trump's pathway. We encourage both President Zelensky and President Putin to follow that path.
Yeah, I don't want to have a fucking interest in Ukraine. I just don't want any more tangling alliances or anything like that. But to JD Vance's point, it's just like, yeah, dude, this can't go on forever. Zelensky has to just accept that it's over, and he just doesn't want to admit defeat. I know the psychology of that, but it's impossible. Like, do me a favor, look up the population of Ukraine versus the population of Russia. I have no idea what it is, but I'm guessing it's at least 20 to 1. There's no chance of him winning this. I don't even know what a win would be. Taking back all this territory that Putin's already taken, that's not going to happen either. It's over.
Yeah, Russia. Okay, Ukraine has a population of 38 million. Russia has a population of 145 million.
Okay. All right. So it's like, yeah. How are you gonna win that? How are you gonna win it? They can just send waves and waves and waves of Russians at you. It's over. You have no chance. Yeah, it's losing sucks, dude. It sucks. Nobody likes to lose, but you gotta cut your losses here and take what you can get. And you're not in a position to be dictating anything to Russia or to the U.S. So yeah, it should be like, dude, sit down, shut up, let the adults fucking deal with this. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anything like that erupt in like one of these press conferences between presidents like that. But like, dude, I probably would have smacked them down even a little harder. Trump was like reserved for a lot of that. And then as soon as he said like, oh, you're going to feel, you have these two big oceans, but you'll feel it soon. And Trump just fucking lost it. Yeah, he waited a long time. He kind of took a lot of shit, a lot of disrespect from Zelensky before he finally fucking just started punching back. So I don't know. It was incredible to watch, though.
Well, like you said, I mean, Ukraine has no leverage. They have no bargaining. Excuse me. They have no bargaining chips whatsoever. Like, how are you going to come in and act like that? Like,
it's wild. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And then just to watch the media and just the oh god. The corporate press, they're just awful. They're wrong about everything. They've never been on the right side of a fucking issue. And it's amazing, dude.
Well, and like they keep saying, oh, if we do this, Russia's just going to take over all of Europe. Like Russia could have steamrolled its way across Ukraine at any point. They got to the point that they wanted to get to and they stopped. They have not advanced their position at all since they got to where they are right now. Like, and Ukraine has mounted these massive offensives to try to take it back, and Russia has just repelled that and sat there. Like, it's at this point, it's a war of attrition. Like, if Ukraine just stopped, it would probably be over already.
Dude, well, it's either Russia is, first Ukraine and then the United States, apparently, or this is like a winnable war for Ukraine and they just need a little more money and some more weapons and they can repel the Russians until they eventually give up or something. I don't exactly know what Zelensky thinks winning would look like. But the idea that the U.S. has to be, like Zelensky points out, he's like, yeah, you got these two big oceans protecting you. It's like, yeah, dude. So what the fuck are we doing over in Ukraine? We should pull out of NATO. Let's get out of there. Why do we care what the fuck happens in Ukraine? And I don't want to care. I don't want to have that mineral deal. I don't want to have all these fucking treaties. I don't want to be sending money to all these countries. Let's see what happens. Okay. I'm going to call their bluff. Let Russia do whatever the fuck let them do what they're going to do. If they make it all the way to fucking London or something, then I'll capitulate and I'll be like, okay, yeah, the US should step in. But until that fucking happens, I'm fine with staying out of it. I'm fine. I'm sorry. This is not our problem. We don't have the money to do this. We're fucking broke, dude. It's amazing how broke we are, and we're still giving money and weapons to all these countries. We don't have any money. Like, all we have to do is sit back. Like we said, we have friendly neighbors. Well, at least they used to be friendly until today's tariffs to the north and south, and two big, beautiful oceans on either side. So come at me if you want. Good luck with that.
Well, okay, and like, if Russia is able to just steamroll its way across all of Europe without U.S. intervention, what the fuck good is any European ally if they can't back each other and take care of their own? Like, okay, you are weak and deserve your defeat. I'm sorry, but like, we are not the world police. We never should have been. Getting involved in World War I was a mistake. Getting involved in World War II was even a bigger mistake. Like, we should have just not been the world police. But it was an opportunity for the military-industrial complex to become the thing that it is, and never give a politician an opportunity to take a chance to make some money, because they will turn that thing into a fucking milk cow that never runs dry. And here we are 100 years later, and you see that. It's why Dwight Eisenhower warned about the military-industrial complex when he left office in his exit speech.
Yeah, it was obvious back then. And nobody, well, I don't know who he was trying to, like, who is he really taught? Like, what can the American people do once the government has created that fucking complex, really? I mean, I guess you could vote, but like, other than that, it's like, by that time, there wasn't much that the American people could do to fucking stop this thing. I mean, I guess we're kind of trying now with Doge, but even when you take these little fucking little nips at it, little bites, they go ballistic. They go absolutely fucking insane over the smallest attempts to reel in this fucking out of control. What was that thing? That say shit. Yeah. It would be nice, when good, you to your actually Magoo pointed this out earlier. He's like, we should sign a mineral deal with Russia and Ukraine. It's like, yeah, dude, when goods cross borders, troops don't. So if it's, if we have an interest in Ukraine, obviously Ukraine's not going to attack us if we have like some mutually beneficial agreement in place. Same would hold true with Russia. If we're trading with Russia, they become one of our biggest trade partners. Then yeah, they're not going to start doing things that are going to piss off their biggest trading partner. Yeah, it's a much better approach than this other fucking thing where we just keep putting NATO closer and closer to their border. That hasn't worked out too well. All this stuff is just so fucking unnecessary, and it's so avoidable. Except for the fact that, yeah, like you point out, all these politicians are getting fucking filthy rich off of it. So yeah, the American people have to suffer. The people of Ukraine have to suffer. Some Russians have to suffer as well. And a bunch of pussy politicians are laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah. And I mean, that has been the entire thing about Ukraine the whole time. It is corrupt. It is a place like we've talked about it before. Ukraine had never been given any consideration to joining NATO because it is known as the most corrupt government in Europe, period. Like, NATO wouldn't even give them a sniff before this whole Russia thing happened because nobody in NATO wanted anything to do with that level of corruption. And now here we are, we're acting like it's a surprise that Zelensky says like 70 or 80% of the money that they're supposed to have gotten has just disappeared. Like, they don't know where it is. It's like, what? This surprises everybody. What? Have you not paid attention?
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to pay attention. Just listen to whatever the talking points are on CNN and MSNBC and all the corporate press, and just know that the opposite is true. when they were saying, "Oh, Ukraine, democracy, freedom," no, all bullshit, all complete bullshit.
Well, now, okay, you mentioned our neighbors to the north, and you also mentioned the hatred of Elon Musk. How do you what's the most like quick and effective way to pair retaliation for the tariffs with your hatred for Elon Musk? I know. Cut off Starlink to your.
One step further. We're ripping up Ontario's contract with Starlink. It's done. It's gone. We won't award contracts to people who enable and encourage economic attacks on our province and our country, alongside federal tariffs and the measures my fellow premiers are bringing forward. This Team Canada's opening response.
Oh yeah, Elon. Oh yeah, Trump. Well, we're gonna stick it to you. We're ripping up our Starlink contracts. Sorry, everybody in Ontario that like relied on Starlink for internet. Fuck you, because tariffs.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, dude. These trade wars, it's like shooting yourself in the fucking foot. In order to win, like whoever wins the trade war is the one. Like you have to basically fight yourself. All the people of fucking Canada now, which you'd think there's a lot of areas in Canada that would benefit from Starlink because there's some pretty remote stretches of land up there. Okay, yeah, I mean, Elon Musk is not gonna like. I don't think he's really gonna feel it. He's worth a couple $100 billion at the moment. It's like, okay, yeah, there goes one contract. All right, big fucking deal. Well, I know like people have been trying to boycott Tesla abroad as well. I know the stock was taking kind of a beating, but like what hasn't been taking a beating lately? Let's see where Tesla's at.
So I posted this on Facebook earlier before we started. I was looking at an article earlier that was talking about how the Trump sell-off is starting. That people are so upset with Elon Musk and his role with Doge and the Trump administration and the Nazi salute and his alt-right views and all of this insane bullshit that now they're just selling off, and his stock has taken, or his net worth has taken a massive dive. Yes, his net worth is now just a little bit higher than it was on election day after this massive sell-off that they've talked about. And also, if you look at Tesla and the other Elon Musk backed like stocks, they're all tech industry, and they are all down within within the margin of error for the tech industry as a whole. Like the entire tech industry is down right now. Elon Musk's investments are down about the same, maybe a little bit more on like Tesla, but like marginally close enough. So like, yeah, oh my gosh, they're selling it. They're selling off. They're showing how much they hate the Trump administration because Elon Musk's net worth is now literally exactly where it was 3 months ago.
Yeah. And also, yeah, it actually is like right mid-November, but that's a big dip because it did get up to almost like $480 a share for Tesla. It's down at $272 right now. But those valuations were also fucking insane. When Tesla was at $480 a share, it was worth more than like every other car company's combined, like in the world. Like that's an insane valuation. So like these things were going to come down. There is going to be a correction here, but it just again, okay, so then maybe you should stop talking about taxing net worth then. Because just 2 months ago, his net worth was almost twice what it is now. or at least from Tesla stock. I don't know what the like his unearned Tesla stock was up to 480. So at the end of this year, it like in another week he would have to pay, in theory, the way this would work, taxes on the unrealized gains for the year before. And December 18th, he had unrealized gains at $485 a share. So even though it's at 272 now, he'd still have to pay taxes on the 485 from the year before.
It's just fucking nuts, and like obviously shows a complete lack of understanding of how the stock market and net worth and all that stuff works. Like the politicians who are wanting to do that, they have people that manage that for them, and they tell them, hey, we're about to do this deal, so go make moves in this sector. But they, like, Nancy Pelosi is not actually pulling the strings on her own, stock portfolio. She's just got people in her office who are telling the people who run her stock portfolio what to do, or telling her husband what to do.
Yeah. Surprised that hammer upside the head didn't seem to affect his trading. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. But yeah, all right. Well, Canada. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting trade war. I mean, we don't like. I was talking to my uncle's friend last night. Actually, we had dinner, and he made a small fortune in the steel industry, and he's basically saying that these tariffs will increase the cost of your car between $4,000 and $4,000 or $4,000 and $14,000 for your car. I don't know, man. I know it's just supposed to be a threat. We'll see who cries uncle first. It probably is not going to be Trump. So we'll see how much pain any of these other countries want to take, and how many times they want to shoot themselves in the foot, like Canada was just doing with Starlink.
Well, like Canada is really, they're getting out there ahead of this and posturing and saying the right things, but I don't know how well it works out for them in the long term.
At 12:01 a.m., President Trump stabbed America's best friend in the back. The message to the president is this: Canada will fight back. We will defend our people and our economy, and we will put Canada first. There's no doubt that our economy will suffer, but so will yours, President Trump. In fact, you're already paying the price, with trillions of dollars erased in stock market value over the last month of these threats. Already, Americans are paying higher gas prices, as at midnight, a new American gas tax kicked in on U.S. working class taxpayers and motorists. Your workers will soon start losing jobs they had upgrading Canadian raw materials, which, by the way, you were getting at an incredible and ridiculous bargain. And your businesses will be selling fewer products to your closest neighbor. And that's only the beginning. While Canadians are slow to anger and quick to forgive, once provoked, we fight back. And we will fight back.
Oh, some strong words there from our neighbors to the north, eh?
Yeah. Pierre Poliveri. Who is that guy? I don't know anything about Canadian politics. I just know who Justin Trudeau is, and that first guy we showed, the PM, or the whatever the fuck they call him, basically the governor of Ontario, Doug Ford. I've seen him before too. He's fun. He's a funny fat guy.
And what's going on with Trudeau?
I thought he was stepping down. When is that going into?
I don't know. I was just thinking. I was like, why is he still around? What the fuck's going on?
Because we've got him out here talking about all this too.
Now, just like I did a month ago, I want to speak first directly to the American people. We don't want this. We want to work with you as a friend and ally. And we don't want to see you hurt either. Your government has chosen to do this to you. As of this morning, markets are down, and inflation is set to rise dramatically all across your country. Your government has chosen to put American jobs at risk, at the thousands of workplaces that succeed because of materials from Canada or because of consumers in Canada, or both. They've chosen to raise costs for American consumers on everyday essential items like groceries and gas, on major purchases like cars and homes, and everything in between. They've chosen to harm American national security, impeding access to the abundant critical minerals, energy, building materials, and fertilizers that we have and that the United States needs to grow and prosper. They've chosen to launch a trade war that will, first and foremost, harm American families. They've chosen to sabotage their own agenda that was supposed to usher in a new golden age for the United States. And they've chosen to undermine the incredible work we've done together to tackle the scourge that is fentanyl, a drug that must be wiped from the face of the earth. So on that point, let me be crystal clear. There is absolutely no justification or need whatsoever for these tariffs today. Now, the legal pretext your government is using to bring in these tariffs is that Canada is apparently unwilling to help in the fight against illegal fentanyl. Well, that is totally false.
Okay. All right. Well, these, I don't know. I think these tariffs are a terrible idea personally. I just, we just don't produce enough. And Donald Trump saying, oh, well, they need to they can bring their manufacturing back to the U.S. They can start manufacturing their cars here and things like that. I don't know what else we get from Canada, like lumber and stuff like that. But
lumber, maple syrup. There is maple syrup. Go figure. Lumber, maple syrup. There is a decent amount of oil and gas that gets passed back and forth, basically, like for as much as what they send here, we send that much or more there. So I don't understand that. Like, there has to be some grease palms involved in deals where we're getting oil and gas from Russia or from Canada while also sending oil and gas to Canada. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I just don't know where, there's no way that we could, retool some factory or start up a factory from scratch. All the regulatory shit you got to go through. It would take years, dude, like 4, 5, 6 years to start up. He's saying Mexico needs to bring their car things up. Yeah, it would take fucking 5 years to get a steel fucking factory off the ground. Even if you took one of the old ones from like the fucking 70s, the last time, or was it in the 70s? It might have been even earlier. All that shit's obsolete. So you got to fucking jigger everything. It's going to take years to do that. So I don't, this could get pretty ugly. We'll see. Like I said, I know this is Trump's like art of the deal kind of thing. He thinks this is going to put pressure on them and they're going to cave. I don't know, dude. Mexico seems pretty stubborn. I don't know. Canada will probably cave, though. They're a bunch of pussies up there. But I don't know, dude. Trump seems like a very stubborn motherfucker, too. But like I said, he's a big stock market guy as well. So he's not going to want to see the stock market continue to fucking tank. Like the Dow got hammered again today. The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 were... No, the S&P 500 was down 1.2%, 1.5% down on the Dow. NASDAQ basically closed down 73 points. So that's like, yeah, almost break even on the day. But at one point it was down pretty substantial. And yesterday was a big down day across the board.
Yeah. It's funny that we're talking about the market being down. I had a Facebook memory from, I want to say it was 3 years ago today, of everybody freaking out because the stock market was down and it was the end of the world and we were all going to lose like everything and we were going broke. And then I had, as I continued to scroll, and I was saying, do people like not actually understand how the market works? It goes up, it goes down, things move around. Like, just because it went down today doesn't mean that it's the end of the world and we're going through another crash. Scroll further, 3 years before that, on the same fucking day, I had almost made an identical post. Like, it seems like this is about the time of year where the market kind of makes some corrections. I just, based on, and I mean, I'm strictly basing that on my Facebook posting history, but around the first week of March, the market seems to take a dip every fucking year.
There are definitely seasonal tendencies. I think what has a lot of people freaked out with this one is just that we broke a pretty major structural trend line, at least on the NASDAQ, kind of when we broke below 2100. There could be a pretty substantial correction coming when you break below those trend lines there.
But we've talked about that as well, like how baffling it is that the market has been as high as it has, even after COVID and with all of the where the real world conditions did not align with what the market was doing. And it's like, I don't understand why everything is so fucking high. So like, maybe we need a good hard correction. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna punch people in the mouth, but at the same time, like, sometimes to correct something that's wrong, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. No, yeah, it has to. These valuations are insane. That's why Warren Buffett is stockpiling $350 billion on the sidelines in cash. Here, I'll just show you the trend line that I was talking about. I just drew it for you real quick right there. This is a daily chart. So when we broke below that, it's kind of look out below. We could see a major correction, but if you pull back to just 2022, you see the lows of 2022 were about 10,000, and now we're at 20,000. So it's doubled over the last couple of years.
And based on nothing, like it's
yeah. Well, a lot of it's probably just inflation.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you should have been taking I don't know what to tell you. Like when the market hits all-time highs and it's doubled, like look at this, man. From these are the lows of 2022, 10,600, and it's just been straight up. A little bit of a pullback here in 2023, and then boom. And it's just been kind of off to the races. So yeah, there's gonna be like nothing just goes up in a straight line forever. You're gonna have to take some profits when the opportunity presents yourself. So, but we'll see. No president ever wants to preside over a bear market. So, especially not Donald Trump. So, we'll see. It's in my mind, it's good that it's happening so quickly, even though people are trying to spin this like, oh yeah, it only took Donald Trump 6 weeks to break the economy or something like that, as if he could even do that. But they will use this. They will use these tariffs as the excuse. I think the market was going to have a major correction either way, but this will be the excuse. Trump will be the patsy for it. And, Biden fixed the economy because look at the last couple of years. It was so great under Biden. Everything was fantastic. Remember all those great jobs numbers we got, Justin?
Yeah.
Every month. It was just tremendous. And a big beat to the upside. And so everything was great. And then Trump came in and he did his Trump thing and he signed a bunch of executive orders and he passed these tariffs. And then boom, everything went to shit. That will be the narrative. We'll see. We'll see how it plays, how things shake out here. It's going to be a pretty interesting year, I think, and a very interesting couple of years. As I look at the calendar here, man, time is going by fast though. Already March. I don't know what else we got today. Anything? That's kind of all I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah, that's the heavy stuff. Well, maybe not the heaviest stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Very still. I'm working right now. This. Ouch! Oh, I'm sorry. Did my pen get in the way of your ass? Do me a favor and lose 5 pounds immediately or get out of my building like now!
So for those of you just listening, this is a gigantic woman, at least from the waist down. And she's attempting to get on a horse. This is like on a beach somewhere, maybe in Mexico. I don't know. I know they look like Africans. I don't know where this is. But I just pray that for this horse that she does not get on there. Could you imagine? If she steps up on that stirrup, that horse has to tip over, right?
I don't know what the plan is here. Oh god, these two dudes are gonna try to pick this bit. Nope, that ain't gonna work.
Dude, who thought that this chick could ride a horse? I was just so thankful that she's actually, spoiler alert, she doesn't get up on there. Like, can you break a horse's back or something? How does their bone structure work? I don't think she gets up there. Oh my god, did she get on there? Did you find a longer clip or did I just lose interest?
Here we go. You lost interest. They brought a stool out, so she's gonna try to.
Oh
the
my
problem
god.
is she can't even step up on the
She's
stool.
gonna kill the horse.
She can't get her feet up that high off the ground.
Yeah, how did she do steps? The horse has to be freaking out. Like, what? Why would you even want to do this? Aren't you embarrassed?
She can't even put her feet up on the stool.
Where did they get a stool
horse
from? They're like on the beach. There's like this bench that they bring out. What the hell is going on? I need some more camera. Like, can you pan around so I can see what else is like? Where the fuck are we? What is going on here? There was a gigantic woman. She probably weighed what, 500 pounds, but 450 of it was her ass.
I don't know how they expected this to work.
It was not that big of a horse either. It wasn't like a fucking huge, like Clydesdale or something. It was
that poor little horse was about to fucking die.
Yeah, like what would would their back just fucking break? Maybe their legs would give out.
I'm sure
their legs would probably give out. They have those fucking chicken legs. They'd probably give out.
Yeah, it would probably hit the ground, roll over, throw her, and then take off. Assuming it even, I've seen videos where they've tried to put somebody fat on a horse, and the horse will take off out from underneath them because it feels the weight before it gets on them, and they're just like, nope, fuck this, I'm out, and the horse will just take off. So it's possible. It's possible that she never would have even had a chance. Here's the American version of that. Not riding a horse, but riding the fat fucking Walmart version of a horse.
Yeah, so this is a lady on a rascal throwing a fucking tantrum in probably Walmart or something. I don't know where are they. All of a sudden, she's very strong.
You're supposed to be recording.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, cop takes her fat ass out. Who are these people, dude? That just think that you can just trash a store. Yeah, Walmart's racist.
Oh God, I need that for my ringtone.
If tackling an unruly fat fuck who's destroying the store is racist, sign me up for that. I guess I'm racist. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. That fat shit. First of all, she could get up and walk around. As soon as she wanted to throw a tantrum, she popped up out of that scooter like it was nothing. So why the scooter? Why aren't you walking around normally? These people are out of control, dude. They're so goddamn fat and entitled. And I have no idea what started that whole thing, but I don't know. Start trashing a store. It's refreshing to see a cop actually do something. Tackle their fucking fat ass, but then I don't know how that ended. He couldn't get the cuffs on her. She's too fat. Probably needed 3 sets. Unbelievable. Walmart is racist. Walmart is racist. Well,
tell me something I didn't already know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Again, dude, take away Walmart and where are all these poor people of color shopping?
Got time for one more little dig before I gotta leave in about 20 minutes. All right.
Yeah.
Since that there were 2 common themes in that last that last little segment, so we need to talk about this. Hashtag us too. Why haven't more black women been sexually harassed? Internet. No one wants to be sexually harassed in the workplace, but everyone would like to think that they're worthy of being sexually harassed in the workplace.
Oh my God. You really are damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right? It's like, why don't you sexually harass me? It's like, well, you're kind of fat and ugly. And oh my God.
Yeah. Even if they weren't fat, like if I had to choose somebody to sexually harass, like, yeah, it would be much more unpleasant to sexually harass a black woman who's just going to get up in your face and be all fucking, do like the snappy finger thing, you know? Those white chicks will just take it. Oh man. So now they're jealous of all the white chicks that are getting sexually harassed in the workplace. Do we have statistics on this?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
Oh man, that is just, yeah. What a fun time to be alive. They're complaining that they're not hot enough to be sexually harassed. But I don't even think hotness has well, maybe it has something to do with it, but also I just, I think they're a lot more aggressive than white women are more docile. You have a much better chance as a sexual harasser to get away with it, sexually harassing like some little white girl. I don't think I'm wrong on that. But never really been much to sexually harass. I passed all the sexual harassment trainings that I had to do for about 15 years.
So I
didn't mention anything about race in there, though.
There are about half a dozen articles talking about breaking the silence, how black women actually experience more sexual harassment than any others, except that when you go and look at the actual statistics, it shows the exact opposite. So it's like somebody figured out that black women were not highly represented enough in the Me Too cases, and realized, oh God, we need to like drum this up that actually black women are being terribly harassed all the time, and it's there. Like you can never stop being the most victimized victim. Like they have to keep upping the ante.
I don't want
Like,
to see any of that.
I'm the victim winner here, not you. You can't be more victimized than me. Like, every time.
We need equal representation in all facets. So maybe that'll be the next DEI initiative. Make sure we get a bunch of black women sexually harassed to even the scales.
I just want to get harassed like once in a while. It doesn't even have to be regularly. Tell me I'm
just to let you know that you still got it.
Right. I mean, I'm getting a little bit older. I can see the smile lines and a little bit of gray in the beard. Like, just what, a little cat calling, a little whistle here and there. Make me feel like I'm still desirable. I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah, it really is unbelievable. Like the amount of compliments that go towards women versus men. Like a man will get one compliment, like, oh, you look nice today or something. He'll dine off of that for a year. And if you say that to a chick, she'll report you to HR.
I actively try to look nice, and my entire family makes fun of me. They're like, "Oh, why'd you get all dressed up today?" I'm like, "Well, fuck y'all then. I'm never dressing up again."
Well, like when we had board meetings and shit, I used to have to put on a suit and tie once a month, like every third Friday. And they were always the older women that work there, been there for 30 years or something. They're 60 years old. They don't buy into the Me Too shit. They give me compliments, and I appreciated that. But yeah, these kids today, man, you got to be careful. They will report you. You can't tell somebody they look nice. How dare you? How dare you give them a compliment? That's sexual harassment. But now the black chicks aren't getting as many compliments as they want. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Except that, it needs to be a new DEI initiative. I want equal. I want, proportionate to the population size. 13% of sexual harassment cases need to be black women. Minimum. So we got to pump those numbers up for all of you guys in the workplace there. Find the nearest black chick at your office and sexually harass her, and then point to that article. I didn't tell you to do that. The article told you to do that.
We're trying to help out. Just trying to get the numbers up, make them feel wanted. Sorry.
I got to do my part to combat racism. I mean, what are you going to do? Sexually harass that fat chick in Walmart.
We're getting canceled for this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we should get out of here on that. Oh God, what do you got going on this week? Anything?
Nothing that I can think of. I work all week. I'm on my stupid midweek rotation. I work Monday through Thursday, so I will do nothing but sleep all week.
All right. I'm going to. I think I'm going to put out a Substack actually, probably right after we wrap here, because I got some things I want to talk about. So stay tuned for that. And then stay tuned for Friday. We'll be back. Regularly scheduled program. We're going 2:30 on Friday, or do you want to go earlier?
I need to go earlier, I think.
Okay. Yeah, let me know. We'll go early, and then we'll do a happy hour.
Yep, sounds good.
All righty. Well, thank you so very much for listening. Don't forget to find the nearest black chick to you and sexually harass her. And report back to me on Friday. Tell me how it went. Until then, you guys know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.